HR and my fellow learners of Language and Mind. Today it is my honor to introduce my group members to you. In introducing the topic, the intriguing topic of brain imaging techniques and their role in language processing. Start off, there are some beautiful pictures of our group members. Tamil, myself, Nidara, Janani, Dakshika and Isu. Here is the content. Introduction is presented by me and overview of methods will be explained by my colleague Nidara. She will explain these techniques allow us to peek into the brain's working and understand its complex processes. Importance of Broca's and Wernicke's area. Following that, Janani will delve into the importance of two key areas in the brain. She will explain their crucial roles in language production and comprehension. Dakshika will explain how the methods work in studying brain activity. Analysis of the advantages and disadvantages. Finally, Suru will wrap up our presentation and with an analysis of the pros and cons of these imaging brain techniques. Let's get to the introduction. First of all, could you please tell me what is the brain? The brain is a complex organ that controls thoughts, memory, emotions, breathing, temperature and every process that regulates our body. Now let's briefly recognize the importance of studying language related region of the brain. Studying brain region is very essential when investigation language. Functions such as production and comprehension of language processing by Broca's and Wernicke's area. Studying this region can provide insight into communication disorders like Broca's aphasia and Wernicke's aphasia. We can understand their relationship between the brain and language, and various techniques allow us to look at the brain and understand their complex process. This can be further studied by different fields like science, psychology, linguistics and education. So let me introduce my other speaker to take you through the journey into the brain. Over to you, Nidara.
As Kamitu said, the brain is one of the most important and complex organs of the body. Here I am going to present you some technique that may be used for study the brain. First method is postmortem examination. Postmortem, commonly known as an autopsy. It is a medical examination it is a medical examination of a body after death. It involves a thorough investigation to determine the cause of death and the extent of disease or damage. This is for damage. It is an invasive technique that It provides valuable information about the brain, areas of the brain, and it helps to identify the damages or cause of some situation of the brain. The next method is fMRI. fMRI is a non-invasive neuroimaging technique used to show the brain activity. Let's see what are the differences. What is the difference between MRI and fMRI? The MRI scanner uses strong magnetic field and it provides highly detailed 3D images of the inside of the body. But in fMRI, the same MRI scanner uses, but it detects the blood flow in different parts of the brain. During the scan process, the participant performs some tasks while laying inside the MRI scan. The brain cells use more oxygen when they are active. The scanner detects the changes in blood oxygenation level, in the brain, which are used to neural activity. By analyzing changes in blood flow and changes in blood oxygenation level, fMRI can generate functional activation maps. So can we reduce the?
Sorry?
Can we increase the AC? I'm sure.
Okay. Can you please somebody?
Functional activation maps that show which areas of the brain are active during the specific task. fMRI provides more valuable information about the brain function. The next method is EEG. EEG is a medical device for analyzing the electrical activity of the brain. During the EEG scan, some electrodes are placed on the scalp. They detect the brain signals and send them to the amplifier because the power of brain signals are very low. The amplifier amplifies the signals and record them in a waveform on a graph paper or a computer screen. There are 5 patterns of EEG waves called as delta waves, theta waves, alpha waves, beta waves and gamma waves. This is an overview of 3 methods of studying brain. Now, Janani will talk about the Broca's and Wernicke's areas of brain.
Thank you, Nidara. So I'm going to talk about the importance of Broca's area and Wernicke's area in language processing. So first of all, speech is an important function. Go through with the language. So from that language brain, there are 2 main regions in the brain. So first area is Broca's area and the other one is Wernicke's area. So this Broca's area is situated in frontal lobe and the Wernicke's area is situated in temporal lobe. So this Broca's area associated with the language expression and the Wernicke's area associated with the language comprehension. So when we go through about the Broca's area, so it's defined as comprising which lie anterior to the premotor cortex in the inferior posterior portion of frontal lobe. Because this is situating in frontal lobe. Look at the picture. Both there, that means 44 to 45. These areas contributed to verbal fluency. And also, damage to Broca's area can be lead as Broca's aphasia. So when we go through with the Wernicke's area, so this Wernicke's area necessary for speech recognition, and also these subserves language comprehension and the necessary information exchange. These all the things done by arcuate folliculus and the major fiber bundle connecting with the language function. So damage can lead to the Wernicke's aphasia. So importance of both two areas, that means Broca's areas and Wernicke's area. So these both areas are cortical areas. So these two areas are specialized for production and comprehension for human brain, human language, because we are talking about the human brain. And also, these two areas facilitate the seamless integration of language function. And also, the importance of these areas lies their roles. They are having a roles. So, in language processing, which is fundamental to communication, cognitive development, and social distraction. So when we talking about the communication, yes, we are doing communication. One person, maybe bunch of people. So that means communication. And also the cognitive development. Maybe a signal, maybe an emoji, maybe a number, maybe a signal. Because our brain getting signals, so it's a function. And also the social distraction. Maybe if getting an incident like happy, sad, or maybe a damage can be a huge damage accident, brain getting surprised, like it's confusing, so it's like a distraction. And also collaborative function in language processing encompassing both communication and production aspect of those communication within use these Broca's areas and Wernicke's areas. So over to Dakshika. So she continued with the other slides. Thank you.
So, it is time for me to explain the contribution of postmortem examinations, fMRI, and EEG for brain studies. Postmortem examinations is also known as autopsies. They have been really crucial in figuring out the diseases like Alzheimer and Parkinson. For example, when they're looking at the people who had Alzheimer, they often find the things called amyloid plaque and protein tangle. These are helping doctors to confirm the diagnosis and give them clues for developing better treatments. Autopsies have contributed to discover the brain regions like Broca's area, which help us produce language, and the Wernicke's area, which is important for language comprehension. Autopsies of infant brains provide scientists to understand brain development better. By investigating traumatic brain injuries, scientists can plan treatments and rehabilitation strategies. Let's come to fMRI. fMRI is also a powerful tool used in brain study. fMRI is also allow researchers to observe the brain activity without invasive procedures. This is suitable for studying cognitive processes and behaviors. fMRI allowing researchers to pinpoint the specific brain regions involved in various tasks. By analyzing these data, they can create detailed map of the brain activities. By connecting changes in blood flow and oxygenation levels, researchers can infer the functions of different brain regions. For example, they can identify the regions responsible for language processing, or emotions, motor controls, or memory formations. And Also, fMRI is widely used in clinical settings to study neurological disorders like Alzheimer disease, traumas, and strokes. fMRI studies can help understand the individual differences in brain, and it helps to explain the relationship between brain functions and behavior. Let's come to EEG. EEG records the tiny electrical signals produced by the brain. By analyzing these, researchers can see how different parts of the brain communicate and work together. For example, they can see which parts are activated when we are asleep or daydreaming. EEG records brain activity in real time, and doctors use this to detect abnormal brain waves, helping to diagnose epilepsy and other seizure disorders, and determine the best treatment for patients. By evaluating brain wave patterns, researchers can determine the sleep quality and diagnose the related disorders. As an example, we can say that delta wave indicate the deeper sleep. Lastly, EEG helps scientists to measuring the brain waves which someone is focusing on a task. They can see which brain region are involved in a memory process. So these three technologies have been used in neuroscience and psychology researchers around the world.
Hello everyone. So today we are going on a brain adventure, and we will be exploring three methods which scientists use to explore the brain and how it is connected to that talking. Now the first we can start by post-mortem examination, and second we can start by fMRI, and third one is EEG. So let's start with post-mortem examination. Now the name itself implies it can only be done after person's death. Now, although it has given us many insights, it comes with many flaws as well. Now, we cannot identify the conclusion, the proper outcome. It can be a coincidence as well as cause. So we cannot identify the exact cause. So that would be a flaw. And the next one is fMRI, sorry. And this is taking a very clear picture, but the person's brain is really working. But the person has to be very, very still, otherwise the result will be murky. And third one is EEG. Now these listen to the brain's chatter, but it also has some flaws because it's connected to the brain's muscles. Sometimes we cannot concentrate the exact interested conversation. Let's talk about the contribution. Now all these methods have contributed immensely, and it has given us fantastic insight about how the brain works and the Wernicke's areas and the Broca's areas. So all in all these methods have ups and downs. Now, although it has ups and downs, it has given us the real-time access, how the brain works and how we can listen. Now, we can take an idea, we as directly people who are connected to TESOL, so we can take these results and incorporate, and final end of the day we can have a better outcome and we'll have a better productive area. That's it guys. I hope you have enjoyed our presentation. So if you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer. Thank you very much.
Any questions? I would like to ask a question from the team that can you select two of the methods that you discussed in the presentation and explain how these two methods have contributed to the understanding of the brain's language-related regions.
So the post-mortem examination, since like I told you, it will be done after person's death. So it has given us many insights, like lesions and all, how the language can be produced and what are the barriers we can do. And the EEG, of course, we can do in a live way, and we can identify whether the person has real-time problems. So we can contribute to those things by implementing different methods.
Yeah, I mean to say like how these two methods have contributed to the understanding of the brain's language-related regions. Now, say for example, Broca's areas and Wernicke's areas.
So now, when it comes to the language, it's all about speaking, and we have the studies have shown the direct link between them, and the researchers have shown the basic principles, and after that, the methods have been improved a lot, step by step.
Anyone else would like to contribute? Thank you.
Thank you.